Part 1. The Mistress's Cave. Sun Wukong flew to Thunder Mountain, Jilei Mountain. It was a lush, beautiful place, far removed from the burning heat of the flaming mountains. He found a cave entrance covered in vines. A young woman walked out. She was stunning, dressed in white silk and smelling of expensive perfume. This was the Princess Jadeface, a fox spirit and the Bull Demon King's wealthy mistress. Wukong, usually rude, tried to be polite. He bowed. "Greetings. I am looking for the Bull Demon King."
"I am his sworn brother from 500 years ago." The princess looked him up and down. You? You are that Monkey King?"
"Yes," Wukong smiled. "You were the one who bullied his wife," she snapped, "and kidnapped his son?" "It's complicated," Wukong sighed. "Can you just call him? Get lost, you beggar." She pulled out a sword and slashed at him. Wukong's temper flared. "I try to be nice and you attack me?" He pulled out his staff. Clang! He knocked the sword out of her hand. The princess screamed and ran back into the cave. "My king, help! The hairy-faced bully is here!" Part 2. The Sworn Brothers Reunite. A moment later, the ground shook. A massive figure stooped to walk out of the cave. He was terrifyingly majestic. He wore a wrought iron helmet and golden armor. His eyes shone like mirrors. He wasn't ugly like most demons. He had the aura of a fallen warlord. This was the Bull Demon King, Niu Mo Wang, the great sage who pacifies heaven. "Wukong." The bull's voice was like grinding stones. "Brother!" Wukong bowed deep. "I missed you." "Don't call me brother," the bull growled. "You were imprisoned for 500 years, and I felt sorry for you. But since you got out, you haven't visited me once. Instead, you harmed my son, Red Boy. Then you bullied my wife, Iron Fan. Now you chase my mistress. Is this how you treat family?" "Brother, please listen," Wukong pleaded. "Red Boy is now an immortal official. It's a good job. And your wife, well, I just need the banana fan." "If you lend it to me to put out the fire, I will return it and apologize properly." "You want the fan?" The bull pulled out a massive iron rod. "Defeat me first." Part 3. The Clash of Titans. They clashed. Boom! When Wukong fought other demons, he was usually faster and stronger, but the Bull Demon King was his equal. The iron staff hit the iron rod. Sparks flew that set the nearby grass on fire. They fought for 100 rounds. They fought on the ground, and they fought in the clouds. The Bull Demon King was strong, but he was also distracted. He had a dinner appointment. "Monkey, I'm hungry," the bull said, blocking a blow. "I'm going to a banquet at the bottom of the Blue Dragon Pool. Wait here until I come back, then I'll kill you." The bull turned into a beam of light and dove into a nearby pool. Wukong was left standing there. He left? In the middle of a fight? To eat dinner? Wukong was insulted, but then he had an idea. If he is at a party, he left his mount unattended. Wukong found the bull's mount, the golden-eyed water beast, tied to a tree. Wukong jumped onto the beast. "Change!" Wukong transformed himself to look exactly like the Bull Demon King. "Now," Wukong grinned, "time to visit the wife again." Part 4. The Husband Returns. Wukong rode the beast back to the palm leaf cave. He banged on the door. "Wife, open up!" Princess Iron Fan opened the door. She saw her husband. Her face lit up with joy. "My king, you finally came back. I haven't seen you in 2 years." She dragged Wukong inside. She served him wine and fruit.
Husband, that terrible Monkey King was here. He stole my fan." "Don't worry," Wukong said, mimicking the bull's deep voice. "I beat him up."
"He won't come back." Iron Fan poured him more wine. Wukong drank it, trying not to break character. "Husband," she asked, leaning on his shoulder, "why did you come back? Did you fight with that fox woman?"
I missed you, Wukong lied smoothly. Also, I was worried about the fan. Is it safe? Of course, she laughed. She opened her mouth and spat out a tiny apricot leaf. It is hidden inside me. Ah, Wukong said. But how does one use it? I forgot the spell. Iron Fan was drunk on wine and love. She whispered the secret spell into his ear. To make it big, pinch the stem and say the spell. To make it small, rub the leaf and say the spell. Got it! Wukong grabbed the leaf. Change! He turned back into himself.
"Thanks for the secret, sister-in-law!" Iron Fan screamed and fainted. Wukong kicked the door open and flew away with the fan. Part 5. The Pig Trick.
Wukong was flying back to the Flaming Mountains, carrying the giant fan on his shoulder, feeling very proud of himself. Suddenly, he saw Zhubaye, Pigsy, flying toward him. "Brother Monkey," Pigsy called out.
I was worried about you. Did you get the fan? I did, Wukong laughed. I tricked the bull and his wife. Look! You are amazing, brother, Pigsy said, walking closer. But you look tired.
"Let me carry the fan for you." "Sure." Wukong handed the heavy fan to Pigsy. It is quite heavy. As soon as Pigsy grabbed the fan, his face changed. The goofy smile turned into a terrifying snarl. Change! Pigsy vanished. Standing in his place was the Bull Demon King. "You tricked my wife," the bull roared, "so I tricked you. Do you think you are the only one who knows the 72 transformations?" Wukong was stunned. He turned into Pigsy. He knew I would trust Pigsy. The bull swung the fan. Whoosh! The wind blasted Wukong backward. But this time, Wukong had the wind-fixing pill in his mouth. He dug his feet into the air and held his ground. "Give it back!" Wukong shouted. "Come and take it!" The bull put the fan in his mouth and charged.
Part 6. Pigsy's Revenge. They fought all the way back to the Flaming Mountains. The noise woke up the real Pigsy and Sandy. "Master," Pigsy said, "look up there! 2 giants fighting."
"It is Wukong and the bull," Sanzang said. "Pigsy, go help your brother." "I'm going." Pigsy grabbed his rake. "That bull has a fox mistress, right? I hate foxes." Pigsy flew up. "Brother Monkey, I'm here."
"Is it really you this time?" Wukong asked, paranoid. "It's me," Pigsy shouted. He swung his rake at the bull's face. The bull was now fighting 2-on-1. He was powerful, but he was getting tired.
He decided to use his ultimate form. Moo! The bull shook his body. He grew larger and larger. He transformed into a giant white bull. He was 1,000 feet tall and 8,000 feet long.
His horns were like iron towers piercing the clouds. His eyes were like lighthouses. "Try to fight this." The giant bull stomped. The mountain shook. Wukong laughed. "You want to play big? Law of heaven and earth. Fa Tian Xiang Di." Wukong grew. He became 10,000 feet tall. His staff became a pillar that held up the sky. Wukong versus Bull. Kaiju versus Kaiju.
They wrestled, crushing hills and changing the landscape. Pigsy ran around the bull's ankles, smashing his hooves with the rake.
Part 7. The Net of Heaven. The Bull Demon King was tough.
Even in giant form, Wukong couldn't pin him down. The bull had magic to regenerate his heads. If Wukong cut off a head, another grew back.
"He is too strong," Wukong shouted. "We need an army." Suddenly, the sky turned gold. Drums beat from the clouds. "Great sage, we are here to help."
It was the 4 heavenly kings, the golden-headed protector, and the 3rd Prince Neza. The Jade Emperor and the Buddha had both sent forces to subdue the bull. "Surrender!" Prince Neza shouted.
He threw his fire wheel. It hung on the bull's horn. He threw his universal ring. It clamped around the bull's nose. The bull roared in pain, but he couldn't move.
Mirrors from the heavenly kings shone down, freezing his transformations. The bull demon king fell to his knees. He panted, exhausted, and defeated. "I surrender," the bull gasped. "Don't kill me."
"I submit to the Buddha. Take him away," the heavenly king ordered. "Chain him and take him to the western heaven to be punished." Wukong watched his sworn brother being dragged away in chains. He felt a pang of sadness. The brotherhood of the past was truly dead. Part 8. The Rain at Last. Princess Ironfan came out of hiding. She was weeping. She knelt before Wukong and Sanzong.
Please, she offered the real banana fan with both hands. Take the fan. Just spare my life. My husband is gone. I have nothing left. Wukong took the fan. He looked at the woman he had tormented.
"I don't kill women," Wukong said softly. "Go home and cultivate your spirit." Wukong flew to the hottest peak of the flaming mountains. He waved the fan once. Whoosh!
The flames, which had burned for 500 years, flickered and died. He waved the fan twice. A cool, refreshing breeze blew through the scorched valley. He waved the fan 3 times. Dark clouds gathered. Gentle rain began to fall. The steam rose from the hot rocks. "It's raining." Pigsy danced in the mud. "It's finally cool." Sanzong walked through the steam, offering a prayer of thanks. Wukong returned the fan to the weeping princess. She took it and disappeared into the clouds to become a nun. The obstacle was cleared. The fire was out. But as they walked through the wet, cooling ash, they realized they had crossed a threshold. The enemies were no longer just random monsters. They were facing the consequences of Wukong's own history.
"Master," Sandy pointed ahead, "the road is clear." "Yes," Sunzang said, "but the temple is still far away." They walked on. The landscape slowly turned from black ash back to green grass.
However, peace never lasted long. Ahead lay a magnificent temple with a golden glow. "Look," Pigsy pointed. "Is that the Thunder Sound Temple? Are we there?" Wukong squinted. His eyes flashed. "No, idiot. That's not the Buddha's light. That light is fake."